Hey 2D, let's have a look at the 3 preamps by Arturia. So I'm covering all the plugins in the FX collection, so check out my channel and see, I have reviews and tutorials and instructions on all of them, including more stuff on synthesis and synthesizers like pigments and others. So yeah, if you like the videos that I do, please subscribe, leave a comment. If you have any question or anything, follow me on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, let's get down to the business. So the 3 preamps / EQs are sort of iconic and are emulation of existing or past existing devices, right? So and they are, very useful. They are very colorful. They are definitely not transparent. So if you're looking to both, create more unique sound, or other than just a surgical EQ, you want to have something special, then definitely try out these preamps. So let's get started with the first one here. And this is the Pre 1973, which is based on the famous Neve console. And what we have here is again, it's a combination between a preamp and an EQ. And you can see this is the preamp section, and this is the EQ section here. And you can turn off the EQ if you just want to have the signal go through your preamp. And that's also an option if you want to use some other EQ along the way. So what I have here is just a vocal track, and let's concentrate on that and see what exactly is happening. So first of all, I'll be just giving you a little bit of a taste here, and then we'll explore the knobs.
You're crying in the pieces, laying broken on the floor, but you put them back together every time before.
Right, so this is actually pretty simple, and I have to to say, if you really want to learn more about this unit and about the history, about how this works and how preamps works, then check out the user manual. For me, it was very interesting, as always. And, I'll make it simple. So we have the input gain, where you can boost your input signal. And you can also then trim down the output. And why would you want to do that? Well, maybe you boosted some of the frequencies in the EQ, and you want to tame the output signal back to its proper place. So what we have here is first of all, we have a high shelf, and you can see that this is a very simple control here. Then we have our mid. And unlike the original unit, this is not switchable; it's sweepable. So you can sweep through the, through the frequencies, and select what frequency you want to concentrate on for your mid, and then you have the gain knob here, so you can boost or cut depending on the use. Then we have our low shelf. And again, it goes from 35 to 220 hertz, and we have our boost, or the boost or trim knob here. And again, very simple. Next, we have our low pass. Sorry, this is the high pass, of course, and it goes from nothing to 300 hertz. So that's pretty simple as well. And we have 2 buttons here on the bottom. We have EQ, and phase. And basically, you can use this just as a preamp and just get the EQ out of the way. The phase, of course, will invert the phase. So this is pretty much it. Let's have a listen again.
I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer just wasted. But baby, there is beauty in the making, so
very, very nice. So this was pre-1973. And the next one, let's have a quick look at the Trident here. That's TridA. And again, there's lots of information about this unit in the user manual. Let me just quickly go here. You'll see that you have the signal flow and you have the whole history. Let's just so this is a lot of information, and it's actually very, very interesting read. So going back to our project here. So again, this is another iconic console, another iconic preamp / EQ. And you can see that we have the preamp section here with the input gain, output trim, the same idea, phase inversion, and turning on and off the EQ. And in the EQ we have our low pass at the top, and you can see that you have low pass at 9K, 12K, 15K, and the way it works is it doesn't really just blocks all the frequencies above that cutoff, but it will attenuate them in a certain slope. So pressing 9K doesn't mean that everything above 9K will go away. It will just be attenuated, and the slope is very mild. I think it's something like 12 dB per octave. So if you add more buttons to the play here, then the slope will be much more sharp. It will have a very distinct effect, and maybe could be some strange effect also depending on the source. Then we have our EQ here, the normal selection. So you have your high shelf, and you see that this is switchable between 15, 12, 10K, right? So you can see that you can select the frequency, and then we have our mid, and for each one you also have a slider, so you can boost or cut depending on your needs. So let's just hear that in action.
no, don't go thinking that nobody's gonna love you. Nobody's gonna love you, 'cause somebody's gonna love you, gonna love you. Oh, oh.
Right, so next we have the bottom section here, and we have another mid or low mid frequencies starting at 2K and going down to 250 Hertz. And then we have our low shelf here starting at 150 going down to 50 Hertz. And that's the basic idea here. Again, we have the buttons here for a high pass, and again, if you switch more buttons, then the slope will be sharper. So let's leave this at 50 Hertz, and that's pretty much it. Again, you have to experiment, you have to listen to your source and see what works for you. It's a preamp that will give your, the signal things that aren't there, more harmonics, if you will. And I really, really like it. I mean, it's just great on vocals. So let's hear it again.
You're chained to the heartache, but you don't even know you hold the key. Girl, you're making it much harder than it has to be.
Right, so that's the TridA, basically emulating the Trident console. And finally, we have another one which is very. I didn't see this one anywhere else, and it's a recreation of again a preamp and an EQ. It's actually a combination of two units that they're not designed, or they don't exist together anywhere. So you have your preamp here, and this is based on German technology coming from the broadcast, the radio. And after World War II, they wanted to build their radio stations, and that was part of the technology that was coming out of that era. That particular unit was then widely used, I guess, in Europe. I don't know a lot about it. Again, read the manual, but the basic idea is simple. You have a preamp, and then you have some EQ, which is just glued here. And if we go to the manual again, you'll see the signal flow. You'll see that the sound goes into the to the pre section here, goes to the equalizer, and then to the output. So very simple. And again, this unit emulates the V76 and the V612 EQ plugin. So read all about it here. Let's hear it.
Oh, I know it's like your world is just caved in, and every single prayer you just wasted. But baby, there is beauty in the...
And there's a lot of coloring here, and it's basically this unit was a tube or valve, and it will add more color warmth to your signal. Now, one thing that is important on all of these units is that they also, of course, have a different kind of representation when you're putting it on a stereo bus. So let's get a stereo bus here and see how that works for us. Let's select one of the, let's take the loop here. So just for the example. So if we go to the pre-73 here, you'll see that we have both channels here. That's simple, the same controls. Then we have the preamp here, but we also have a left, right, or mid side. So when you go to mid side mode here, you'll see that the left will be the mid, and the right here will be the side. You can read it here: mid EQ and side EQ, and it means that you can treat each of these sections of the frequency spectrum differently. Right, so that's the idea. Again, why would you want to do that? Maybe you want to trim down the low frequencies on the sides. You don't want to muddy up the sides, or you want to boost the middle, the mid. You want to give it a more presence. All the low frequencies, you want to focus on those. And so that's a very, very useful way to do that. And you can see that the same idea goes for the Trident. You can go to left, right, mid side. yeah, that's the idea. And again, if we go to let's have the last one, and again we have left, right, or mid side, and the same. Yeah, that's it. So these are the 3 preamps by Arturia. I hope you learned something here. And again, if you like the videos, if you like the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, and if you have any questions or anything, again, follow me on Facebook. I'll try and be responsive. So I'll see you on the next videos. Bye bye. Thank you.